As promised, the new Model 3 has all the basic features we've come to expect from Tesla: generous range, excellent acceleration and handling, supercharging capability, and all the latest high-tech bells and whistles. However, its one truly unique attribute, the one that's getting the most ink in the reviews, is its strikingly minimalist interior. Some reviewers have waxed poetic. Georg Kacher, writing in the German newspaper Süddeutsche Zeitung, calls it reminiscent of a completely cleared, blackwashed Bauhaus living room. Others are less enthusiastic. Consumer Reports is on the fence, but no one can ignore it. Model 3's almost complete lack of physical knobs, switches and dials is revolutionary, and almost every reviewer to date has had a lot to say about it. Hollis Johnson, writing in Business Insider, says that Tesla has reset expectations with the zen-like interior environment, where subtraction is everything. The mastermind behind the minimalist design is Tesla's senior design executive Franz von Holzhausen. When he designed Model S, he took as his model an endurance athlete. Von Holzhausen wrote in a 2011 blog post, "Our goal is to modernize the design of the classic sedan silhouette and make it unique to Tesla. We wanted it to express speed and motion, even when at rest." It's easy to see some of this sleek visual language in the shape of Model 3. Inside, however, minimalism has reached new heights. According to Johnson, von Holzhausen's minimalism expresses how he believes cars should look and feel, and embodies Tesla's philosophy that cars shouldn't be complicated. It also connects Tesla with the world of consumer technology. Some have called Model 3 the iPhone of cars. The only physical controls, aside from the pedals, are 2 column stops and 2 trackballs on the steering wheel, a button to engage the hazard flasher, required by law, and buttons and a lever to control the windows and doors, also required. There's no traditional instrument cluster. Your speedometer, and everything else, appears on the 15-inch touchscreen slightly to your right. Some are nervous about letting go of the usual array of gauges and dials, but in a modern car, there's no real reason to have anything other than a speedometer, and the nav system, in your line of sight. Tachometers, oil pressure gauges and so on are quaint vestiges of a much earlier era. Johnson points out that Tesla didn't invent the minimalist dashboard. The humble old Toyota Echo featured a compact digital instrument cluster, but with Model 3, the California trendsetters have taken various ideas that have been kicking around the auto industry for a while, refined them and reduced them to their essence. The overall black interior is relieved by brushed metallic trim and a single strip of open green wood running the width of the dashboard. Johnson calls it a brilliant touch, noting that early versions of Model S also featured a minimalist interior look that some found a bit too cold and insufficiently luxurious. Model 3's stripper wood is a welcome accent from the natural world that contrasts with the high-tech look of black leather in brushed metal. Of course, not everyone loves the minimalist aesthetic, but it's rapidly becoming the predominant style in our touchscreen-controlled world, so let the Model 3 dashboard be a metaphor for your mind. Let go of the past, clear out the clutter, click the right-hand stop twice to engage autopilot, relax and enjoy the drive.
The 2019 Forester radically does not shake up Subaru's SUV formula, but it does not have to. Presently in its 5th generation, the Forester continually offers exactly what its customers expect: lots of standard safety equipment, lots of interior space, and rugged charm. It is yet very much a Forester visually, with an upright, 2-box design, and typically Subaru contemporary but offbeat styling. It is kind of ugly, but totally charming at the same time. The 2019 Forester is designed on the Japanese automaker's Subaru global platform architecture, leading to an SUV that is slightly larger than the earlier. The enhanced height, width, and length all permit for more cargo volume and passengers. 2019 Albanian Lex Forester would be powered by Subaru's new indirect-injected 2.5-liter Boxer engine, with 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque, gains of 12 horsepower and 2 pounds-ft over the 2018 model. The engine is mated to a continuously varying transmission across all the trim levels. Touring and sport models get a manual mode along with steering wheel-mounted paddle shifters, not that they would alter the behavior of the CVT or anything. All-wheel drive is standard on all the Forester models. Subaru would no longer extend the turbocharged Forester XT. The sport model merely is about appearance and a bigger list of standard equipment. This Forester surely gets a sport sharp setting in the SI drive modes, but all the drivetrain and chassis components are similar to that of the other Forester models. One will be able to locate the Forester Sport by its dark 18-inch wheels, unique grille, and rear roof spoiler. The Sport even has LED fog lights, push-button start, high beam assist, heated seats and much more. As per infotainment, the base Forester arrives with a 6.5-inch multimedia system, while the higher-end trims have 8-inch Multimedia Plus and Multimedia navigation systems. Subaru's Starlink interface features Android Auto compatibility and standard Apple CarPlay, for folks who rather would use those. Subaru said that its 2019 model is the quietest and roomiest Forester yet. The 2019 Forester would hit Subaru dealers later this year after its introduction at the New York Auto Show this week.
When the Leaf debuted in 2010, it was the first and only electric family car of the modern era, but resembled a slug, was as slow as one and only went 73 miles per charge. Nissan eventually got that up to 107 miles, but that still paled in comparison with the sleek Teslas that later came onto the scene and could go 2 to 3 times farther before plugging in. But the Leaf was cheap, relatively speaking. You could get one for far less than $30,000 in the United States once all the government's spiffs were added up, which made it less than half the cost of a Tesla Model S. It eventually found over 110,000 homes here, 11,000 of them just last year, despite the fact that the former car of the future had become one of the oldest cars on the road. It's not anymore. The 2018 Leaf is all new, and it's about time. The $36,995 Chevy Bolt has been playing in its sandbox for the past year, and one day soon you might be able to get a Tesla Model 3 for $35,000 before incentives. The Leaf starts at $30,875, which ends up being $20,875 in California and as little as $18,875 in Colorado, once you subtract all of the available tax credits. The redesigned, American-made Leaf looks more modern than the old one, and yet more conventional. The styling of many of Nissan's passenger cars are a little outlandish these days, and in that context it fits right in. Aside from the little nub of a gear selector knob it carries over from the last Leaf, there are also few hints in the cabin that you're at the helm of the most unique car in the company's lineup, and keeping it simple is certainly one way to keep costs down. Another is to not spend too much on the batteries. The headline about the new Leaf is that it goes much farther than the old one, but still not very far. The new EPA rating is 151 miles per charge, which experience has led Nissan to believe is plenty for the Leaf's core audience, while broadening its appeal without making it too expensive. Unlike other automakers, Nissan claims to make a profit on electric cars, so it deserves the benefit of the doubt on that point. It will test uncharted waters when it introduces a pricier version with a 200-plus mile range next year that will better compete with the 215-mile Model 3 and 238-mile Bolt. Today's Leaf needs about 7.5 hours to recharge its 40 kWh battery pack on a 240-volt charger, While one of the few and far between DC fast charging stations that it is compatible with can fill it to 80% in 40 minutes, but stops there to keep from frying it.